Hey guys, Jake here, and today I'm here with week number 4 of the PMC. This week we are up against PotatoJim. He's the coach of the Pinecobh Ramblers. He's a pretty well-known name in the community. He's in big leagues such as the PPL and the TBU, so I was definitely looking forward to fighting him. He recently took over as a replacement coach. His draft is a bit weird that he took over. His team consists of Clefable, Latios, Skarmory, Mega Tyranitar, Rotomosh, Heracross, Venusaur, Torkoal, Zangoose, Floatzel, and Golurk, and my team consists of Garchomp, Mega Gallade, Tangrowth, Greninja, Thundurus, Therian, Crobat, Mastodon, Vaporeon, and Piloswine. Now, one thing I want to say before I get into the vid is that after this week, I actually just exchanged Thundies with my good pal Johnny GB, because I haven't really liked Thundurus T that much. I always prefer Thundurus I. I just like the I just like Thundurus I more. I feel more comfortable using it. I didn't really need to make many free agent transactions. I feel like my team's already pretty solid. But so yeah, let's talk about this matchup. I feel like my matchup is pretty good, but he has some like big threats. So he has the triple weather. Clefable is a huge threat to my team. I don't know if I've stated this yet, but the problem with drafting Klefki as your Steel type is that bulky fairies are just a huge problem to your team. Even Crobat, it doesn't have very good poison stab. So bulky fairies are one thing that my draft has a huge problem with. He's also got the Latios, which as you can see he didn't bring, which I was very happy about, because something like a Calm Mind Latios was a huge threat to my team. Like I had Klefki for it, but if Klefki got out of the way, I didn't really have much to revenge it at all. He also had a Skarmory, which he also didn't bring. Skarmory definitely didn't have the best matchup this game, especially because my Crobat was designed to beat it. It doesn't beat some Gallades. Klefki can kind of stop it, but like Klefki doesn't beat it. And then Greninja can hit it hard. Thundurus capitalized on it. He also brought the Mega Tyranitar. Mega Tyranitar is pretty scary. I don't have the best responses for. I kind of expected like a special lure Mega Tyranitar with like Ice Beam and Fire Blast hit my Tangrowth and Klefki respectively. But I definitely understand if he wants to go with like Dragon Dance or Rock Polish Physical. He's also got the Rotomosh. Rotomosh was a huge nuisance to my team, and I was really ecstatic when I see he didn't bring it, because Rotomosh could annoy stuff like my Crobat, my Greninja, even my Gallade. So, yeah, I was really happy to see that he didn't bring it. He's also got his Heracross. Heracross he also didn't bring, because I was just really excited to see that, because something like a Scarf Heracross could really clean late game if he managed to weaken my team. I didn't have much for I really didn't have much for like a Scarf Heracross if my Crobat got weakened. But yeah, he's also got the Venusaur. Venusaur is obviously going to be a Sun Sweeper. I do have a decent response to Venusaur, but he still did bring it, which is interesting. He's also got the Torkoal. Torkoal, obviously, going to support the Venusaur and try and assist it in sweeping, but during this game, I actually realized I really don't have to switch into an offensive Torkoal, so that could be problematic. He's also got the Zangoose. I was actually terrified of Zangoose because, like, if my Gallade is chipped, I really don't have much to revenge it, because, like, something like Toxic or Toxic Boost Quick Attack does a million to my Greninja. It does a lot to my Gallade. Does a decent amount to my Thundurus and my Crobat as well. So yeah, Zangoose could be pretty scary. Floatzel I didn't really expect to bring. I do have good checks like good counters like Tangrowth, Vaporeon, and then same thing with Golurk. I do have pretty good checks to Golurk, especially my Tangrowth. So yeah, let's get into the team I built. First up, we got Crobat. This Crobat is a Stallbreaker Crobat, Super Fang, Brave Bird, Roost, and Taunt. This thing can beat the Skarmory and the Clefable 1v1, which is really good. It also helps me deal with Venusaur. Venusaur can't really do much unless he has like Life Orb and Power Ice, which would make sense. But Yeah, this can also just, Super Fang is nice, because I can take a huge chunk out of the Rotom Wash. This can also kind of deal with Heracross, because I can live something like a Stone Edge. And yeah, just, basically this mod is nice for shutting down something like a Calm Mind Clefable, which I don't really have that much for. And just overall chipping his team down for my other stuff to, just do more work. So, yeah, next up, Thunderous Therian. Thunderous Therian, for the last week on its team, it has Thunderbolt, Hidden Power, Flying, Focus Blast, and U-Turn, holding the Chardy Berry. Chardy Berry is basically so I can take something like a Stone Edge from the Mega Tyranitar, and it's basically insurance if I like miss a Focus Blast. And it's also pretty important for Heracross, because I can take Stone Edge from something like Scarf Heracross and Oko it with Hidden Power Flying. Basically, this is all the coverage I need. I do have a U-turn to hit, so I can U-turn out on the Latias. Latias does kind of check me, but that's fine. Same with Golurk, but Thunderbolt and Power Flying and Focus Blast I felt was good enough for the rest of his team. I didn't consider Taunt, but I just felt like a U-turn could be nice for momentum. And, yep, so next up, Greninja, Life Orb Greninja yet again. Dark Pulse, Hydro Pump, U-turn, and Water Shuriken. I do have I'm hasty, and I do have a bit of attack investment. I don't actually remember exactly what my attack investment was, but I'm sure it was there for a reason. It might have just been to do some extra damage to the Latias. But oh yeah, one thing I should mention, I am kind of sick, so that's also why this video is late. But yeah, my voice might sound a bit weird, and I apologize for that. But yeah, anyways, next up, Klefki. Klefki is a pretty cool set. Mixed offensive with Play Rough, Thunder Wave, Toxic, and Rain Dance. And I'm holding the eject button, so if I ever take a hit, I can just switch right out into something I want to and get a lot of momentum. So the Prankster Rain Dance is just really cool this game, because he has every weather except for rain. So I can just, if something's about to sweep me, I can just Rain Dance up, stop the weather, and yeah, I felt like dual status this game was better than something like Spikes in the last slot. Spikes don't really hurt his team that much when he has stuff like Magic Guard, Clefable, Latias, Skarmory, Rotom Wash, which is, I expected him to bring Latias, Skarmory, and Rotom Wash, but he didn't bring any of them. Versus the team he brought, Spikes might have been better, but I just felt like the dual status looked better when analyzing the team matchup. Next up, Tangrowth. Tangrowth is a mixed defensive set, Sleep Powder, Giga Drain, Knockoff, and Focus Blast. Focus Blast is so I'm not too passive versus the Tyranitar, and I can do a KO it. Giga Drain actually wouldn't, because Tangrowth isn't the strongest, and Tyranitar is kind of weak. Sleep Powder is nice just to annoy his potential switch-ins, specifically the Latias, the Skarmory. I know it could be safety goggles on one of the two, but still is nice. I'm also hard-welled by Venusaur, but I think that's quite fine, because I do have my Klefki and my Crobat for the Venusaur. And yeah, last but not least, I've got my Gallade, Close Combat, Ice Punch, Sword Stance, and Poison Jab. This just runs through his team. That coverage is perfect. I have Poison Jab to 2-hit KO Clefable. Close Combat hits his team really hard. His only other fighting resist is the Venusaur, which does Oko, and which is OHKO'd by Ice Punch after rocks. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident with this team. Basically, plan is to win with Greninja or Gallade late game. I'm going to lead off with my Crobat, because I feel like it has a pretty good matchup. Well, I should also probably talk about the team he brought. So yeah, he brought the Vanillix, the Alolan Sandslash, the Torkoal, oh, my bad. First of all, yeah, I need to go back. So he actually made a lot of transactions after this game. He used to have Alolan Sandslash and Vanillix over, I believe, Floatzel and Golurk. I'm really sorry for that, but I'm looking at the doc right now and it's all updated. But yeah, he used to have Alolan Sandslash and Vanillix. So forget what I said about Golurk and Floatzel. He's got Vanillix and Alolan Sandslash. Now that core is actually really scary for my team. I don't really have to switch into Alolan Sandslash. Vanillix could also be pretty scary because I don't have an ice resist outside of Klefki. But yeah, I decided to lead off with my Crobat. This might have been a misplay, but I just felt like I wanted to stop a potential Clefable lead with like rocks. So also Venusaur lead. So yeah, as he just leads off with his Vanillix. Now I can't OHKO this Vanillix, and I definitely want to keep my Crobat healthy for stuff like the Clefable and the Venusaur. So I'm just gonna hard switch into my Klefki. It's a pretty obvious switch, but also pretty safe. As he goes straight for the Blizzard, this damage definitely reveals that he is an offensive Vanillix. But thankfully the eject button is going to come in clutch, and I'm going to get a hard switch into my Klefki, Mega Golade, and I can OHKO this thing with close combat. I can live something like a Scarf Blizzard, so that's really nice. But I'm actually just going to go for the Poison Jab, because he doesn't have a switch in besides Clefable. Like, it's his only fighting resist, besides Venusaur, which I would just Ice Punch on the next turn. But yeah, I feel like if I get this play correctly, I'm in a great position because I basically got a guaranteed kill with Blade. And also, even if he did stay in and go for another Blizzard, he can't OHKO me, and I can just like kill the next turn with close combat. So I do go for the Poison Jab, as he does go hard into his Clefable, and which is great for me because now, as I said, I basically get a kill. So yeah, I go over the Poison Jab, predicting the Clefable, as this is kind of do a ton, and he is definitely not a physically defensive Clefable, which is good to note. I do get the Poison, but it's irrelevant because you will see that he is indeed Magic Guard. So I'm thinking this might be an offensive Clefable, but it also just could be Spadef. That's definitely max HP. So here I'm just going to click Poison Jab again, no reason to over-predict, as he does go hard into his Sand Slash. I can live any one hit from the Sand Slash in the hail, and I don't have a switch in, so I'm just going to go for the close combat. He actually goes for the Earthquake. I guess he was predicting my Klefki there, I'm not really sure. But this works out perfectly for me, because I can just hit this thing really hard with close combat. And knock out the Alolan Sand Slash, which is great, because it was one of the biggest threats to my team. And yeah, here, now he brings out his Vanillix. So I'm basically under the assumption that this thing is Choice Scarfed. I definitely want to preserve my Golade because it's so good versus his team, and it can hit stuff like Venusaur really hard. So I'm just going to go hard into my Klefki. If he does go for like a HP Fire or something, I can't take it, as he does make that prediction, so that's a good play on his part, but it's perfectly fine because I just decided to go for a Thunder Wave right here. Because paralyzing this thing is just really good late game, because this Vanillix is actually a really big threat now that my Klefki is weakened, but getting it paralyzed kind of stops that. So unfortunately he doesn't get full parried, so I would have liked to preserve my Klefki, but he does break through. So now I get to another free switch into my Golade, which means I get a kill, because Golade is just such a monster. I get to fire off close combat, as he goes into his Torkoal. Only way Torkoal can avoid getting 2 KO'd is if he's physically defensive. And as you're going to see, he is definitely not a physically defensive Torkoal, because this is going to do a ton. And and he's just going to sack his Torkoal in the next turn, and eliminating this Torkoal is great for me, because as I said, something like an offensive Torkoal was pretty threatening on my team. But I guess it didn't really do much versus my team, because I had a lot of stuff that hit it hard. But we get rid of the Torkoal, which is great, as he's going to bring out his Venusaur. I still want to preserve my Golade, because it can revenge stuff like Vanillix and like 2 KO Clefable. So I'm just going to go into my Crobat. I can live anything this thing wants to do, even if he wants to go for like a Life Orb and Power Ice predicting. I can take it and just switch out. So he does go for the Sludge Bomb. He is indeed Life Orb. As I said, I can even live a Life Orb and Power Ice from here, because I am max HP. I actually go for the Super Fang, because I know he's not going to stay in. I figured he might go into Tyranitar, and getting this chip on here is really nice, which means I can like 2 KO this Tyranitar with my Tangrowth Giga Drain, as getting this thing chipped is overall really nice. Now it's definitely in range of my Greninja, also my Thundurus. So here, I know my switch into Tangrowth is pretty obvious, but it's one I can make. I'm ahead of the game right now. I can afford to play really safe. He has been playing pretty aggressively, which I'm fine with, because overall I'm in a pretty good spot, as he is going to Mega Evolve and go for the Ice Punch. But my Tangrowth does have a lot of defense investment, so I will be able to take that very easily. As here I'm just going to fire up a safe Giga Drain, so I won't get too KO'd by Ice Punch if he wants to stay in, because I'd get some HP back. I figured there's a very good chance he goes into Venusaur, but as I said, I'm ahead. I don't need to make very many aggressive plays. Basically, I'm in a good spot right now. My Greninja and my Gallade are both looking really solid. I just need to make sure I preserve my Crobat so I don't lose to a Calm Mind Clefable, because as I said, that is a huge threat to my team. As he does go hard into his Venusaur. Once again, I'm going to go hard into my Crobat. This might have been a misplay here, because it's kind of obvious, and by the way he's been playing, he's been playing pretty aggressively to try and get himself back into the game. But, and like, if he predicted me and went for like a Life Orb and Power Ice, that could have been pretty bad. But instead of going for Life Orb and Power Ice, he's actually just going to put double into his Vanillux. Now, as I go hard into my Crobat, Snow Warning is going to indeed activate. And I just go hard into my Crobat. Now, I can't OHKO this Vanillux, but I can 2-hit KO it. But it's at this point that I realize if I just sack off my Crobat here, and he kills off my, and if he kills me with the next Blizzard, my Gallade just comes in and wins on the spot. I kill this Vanillux with Close Combat. I kill the Clefable with Poison Jab. Killing the Venusaur with Ice Punch isn't rule in my favor. So I'm in a good position either way, because like he would also, even if I don't kill, he would die to Hail. And T-Tar obviously gets obliterated by Close Combat. So I figure I can just sack off my Crobat here and then just come in with my Gallade and completely win. I don't really need to preserve it with Clefable, because I just figure out I win 4-0 if I sack off my Crobat. But yeah, I'm gonna go for the Brave Bird, and that does a lot, but he actually gets fully paralyzed, which actually is unfortunate for me, because as you're gonna see, it'll just change the pace of the game. My Gallade literally came in and won, but unless I got a low roll on Venusaur, but I think I just because like he had taken 2 rounds of Life Orb plus Sand, and I know an Ice Punch does 78 minimum after Rocks, so I'm pretty sure the Venusaur would have died to Ice Punch. But yeah, I am just gonna take out the Vanillux next turn with Brave Bird. And here he gets a free switch into Tyranitar, which sucks, because Gallade would have just won, and Gallade would have gotten a ton more kills, which is great, because I want Gallade to win MVP. It was tier 2 in this league for some reason. But yeah, he brings down his Tyranitar. I still have a near full Tangrowth, so I'm not scared of this Tyranitar, as he is going to put another double into his Clefable in an attempt to get it healthy, which is a very good play. He's definitely trying to play really aggressive to get himself back into this game. He's pulling a lot of doubles, which I can definitely respect. But this Tangrowth can't beat this Clefable, and I gotta go hard into my Crobat to shut down this Clefable, because if he sets up Calm Minds, it could be really scary. And yeah, I figure here I don't lose much from going from the taunt, because I can live like a Thunderbolt from a defensive Clefable, and it prevents him from setting up Calm Minds, which is basically all I want, or even like Cosmic Powers. So I'm gonna go for the taunt right here, as he's actually gonna go for Thunderbolt. So I'm thinking this is probably offensive now, because the Poison Jab damage on this Fable, and it actually is Life Orb, because after the game, Omega Jolteon, who built with Jim, told me that this is definitely a Life Orb Clefable. So here I'm forced to go into my Greninja and get a big hit off on this Clefable, leaving it in range of my Gallade. So yeah, unfortunately Greninja, it was just kind of restricted to this role of getting a big hit on my Clefable. It could have done more, but yeah, that's just like, I know that that's like the second game of the season where I just had to sack Greninja to get a hit off to make it revengeable by another mon. But here I can go out to my Thundurus, and my Thundurus actually just cleans at this point. I do have the Charty Berry Focus Blast for T-Tar, as he actually is just going to go hard into my Tyranitar, his Tyranitar, as this Thunderbolt does do a pretty good amount, but it looks like it would be close to a KO, but the sand actually ends, so I definitely will kill him with the next Thunderbolt. So, yeah, here he brings out his Venusaur, which I do have the hidden power flying for, which is perfect. Yeah, this thing is just gonna die, and then Clefable is gonna die on the next turn to the Thunderbolt. So we do manage to pick up a 3-0 win versus PotatoJim in this Pinecobh Ramblers. Definitely an interesting game. Playing with like the triple weather was kind of weird to prep for. I was kind of scared of a little Sand Slash in the beginning. But it would have been a 4-0 win if the Vanillix didn't get paralyzed. But it's fine. So we are now, I believe, 4-0 plus 12 on the season, which is a great start. I'm hoping to finish off the rest of the season undefeated. Because basically I want to try and repeat my CPC season where I go undefeated in the regular season, but hopefully this time I don't lose round 1 in playoffs like I did CPC when I got hacked, but oh well, it's fine, it happens. Yeah, good game to Jim. It was pretty fun game. Goalie definitely showing why it's a great Mega this game, but yeah, thank you all for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.